For as long as I can remember, strange and unsettling things have been a constant presence in my life, stretching back to our old house. We lived there for 15 years, and during that time, the occurrences became so frequent and intense that we were convinced our home was haunted. We experienced a variety of unsettling phenomena, shadow figures moving in the corners of our vision, sleep paralysis that left us frozen in terror, disembodied voices whispering in the dark, and a feeling of oppressive energy that suggested something was deeply wrong. But among all these eerie happenings, one presence stood out as particularly malevolent and deeply troubling. I began seeing an apparition of an 8-foot-tall black shadow figure. Its very presence exuded a negative energy that seemed to infect everything around it. This shadowy entity was more than just a fleeting image. It was a recurring fixture in our lives, appearing just before or during moments of significant turmoil. Whenever the Shadow Man showed up, it seemed to signal the onset of some serious issue, whether it was heated arguments between my parents, conflicts between my siblings and me, or even health and financial problems that seemed to arise out of nowhere. The most disturbing instance of this Shadow Man's influence occurred when I found myself in a state of inexplicable rage, causing me to choke my younger sister. I have no recollection of why I acted this way, but the incident left me horrified and deeply ashamed. We tried various methods to rid ourselves of this presence, from rituals and cleansings to moving out of the house. But despite our efforts, the problems persisted. When we finally moved from our old house, we hoped for a fresh start. For a while, life in the new house seemed to offer some respite. However, it wasn't long before the Shadow Man reappeared. The sense of dread returned, and with it came even more severe and troubling issues. The problems intensified, leading us to the point where we decided to move again, after spending just a year in the new house. Our latest move was an attempt to escape the cycle of haunting and disruption. Yet, despite our best efforts to leave behind the shadows of the past, the disturbances followed us. I found myself encountering not just the original Shadow Man, but also other shadowy figures and hearing voices that seemed to come from nowhere. It became a daily struggle to cope with the constant barrage of supernatural phenomena. The presence of these entities, coupled with the voices that I could hear but couldn't see, made it increasingly difficult to distinguish reality from the supernatural. My experiences have left me grappling with a persistent sense of dread and confusion. What began as sporadic, unsettling incidents has evolved into a more complex and disturbing situation. The line between the living and the spectral has blurred, leaving me to navigate a world where shadows and voices are all too real. Now, I live with the haunting uncertainty of whether these experiences will ever truly end, or if they are simply a part of my life's fabric. Each new home, despite our hopes for peace, seems to bring with it a new chapter in this unsettling saga. The Shadow Man and his cohorts continue to be a part of my life, and while I have tried to understand and address these phenomena, the unsettling truth remains that the answers I seek are elusive.